Welcome everyone to some more Lord of the Rings Online. Before heading into Angmar for Season 8, it's time to do some more festival quests because the timing lined up pretty well with this. So it is currently the Yule Festival, which is very exciting. There are 2 quests in each beginner region, so there are 2 quests here in the Shire, 2 in Bree, 2 in the Dwarf area of Ered Luin, and 2 in the Elf area of Ered Luin. In addition to all of those, there's also a special map that was created for the Yule Festival, the Winter Home, which I'll be venturing to within the next few episodes here. This first episode of the Yule Festival, I'm going to be doing the quests in the actual Middle-earth maps, and then maybe in the next episode I'll head over to the Winter Home. Now it's my hope that by doing these quests, I'll be able to level up to 50, because I'm almost 49 as you can see, and then if I can get to 50, I'll actually do the Helagrod raid and slap that at the end of Season 7. So if I was able to do that, you'll already have seen those episodes because I'll have actually uploaded them before I upload this. That's enough rambling, let's actually go ahead and get started. So I have this quest available. The Yule Festival is a time of celebration and merriment. Come and join the festivities in Frost Bluff and drink, eat, and be merry. Happy Yule. So again, I'll be headed there in the next episode, but for now, I want to talk to some of these people. Let me just finish this though. Visit the delightful land of Frostbluff, where all things winter and all things special are happening. Come quickly. So I'm going to be going over all the quests and all the deeds of the Yule Festival, and then also all the rewards that you can unlock. So that's all going to be pretty fun.
Stay and have some tea.
This year's Yule Festival is going to be a disaster. We have the gifts, the boxes to put them in, the paper to wrap the boxes, but we've run out of the ribbon. We cannot have a Yule Festival without ribbon for the gifts. That is a calamity. I thought we had plenty of ribbon, at least as much as last year. I was wrong. We used it all up within the first 3 days. I ordered more yards from Overhill, but it hasn't showed up yet. Even if it had, it would all be white, and that just won't do. If you would be so kind as to help follow the road towards Overhill and see if you can find the boxes of ribbon. While you're out there, if you could pick some red berries and blue flowers to dye the ribbon, perhaps we could have a Yule to remember.
Stay and have some tea.
Every Yule I make a special blend of my cider, a mix of cinnamon, sugar, and a few other spices. I am not inclined to share with any old stranger. It has become a tradition within my family that we share a toast of this cider to remember the year that was and to look forward to the year that will be. Unfortunately, I fear my family may be disappointed this year. I have run out of apples to press the cider. I had so much other planning to do that it simply slipped my mind. I don't suppose you'd be willing to fetch me some apples. I don't need many. You can find them to the west at Appledor's Orchard. So 2 fairly simple quests here. Now these 2 right here, this is the Hobbit Dance quest, which I've done in the Fall Festival. You can look at that episode if you want to see that, but it's basically a repeatable quest. And then this guy gives me the horse race quest, which again I've already done in the Fall Festival episodes. These 2 guys are associated with the Ale Association and the Inn League, and I'll be covering those at a later time, not at this festival, so not time for that just yet. But I'm just kind of pointing out as to why I'm ignoring some quest rings. So let me pick 5 apples here. Let me speed up with my forced march. I enjoyed the festival quest. It's a nice little break from everything that's going on. They can be a little bit grindy if you want to unlock all the deeds and all the rewards, but it's pretty fun. And similar to the Fall Festival, I don't know if I'll be able to unlock all the deeds in one single year, but if I can't, I'll come back to those deeds at a later time.
Good day.
These apples will do perfectly. I and my family thank you, Kippen. This Yule will be great at last, and hopefully more so. Alright, And then let me head on over towards Overhill for the ribbons. My chair has gotten quite creaky. I'm sorry if you can hear it. I edit all the audio and try to get rid of as much background noise as possible, but I can't get it all. And I need to buy a microphone stand. It's something I've been putting off. Because I had the microphone basically right next to my keyboard, and I have a wooden desk, and I don't really know how to describe it to you guys, but basically the vibration from the keys itself actually transmits very poorly across the wood and makes a kind of rumbly, echoey sound on the microphone every time I press the keys. And that can be quite distracting. So I need to elevate the microphone off the table, but I haven't been able to get a microphone stand yet. Hopefully one day though. So now I just need to get some flowers to dye the ribbons. And let me see. Should be around here somewhere. Oh my god, I can barely move my chair without it creaking. It's like if I take a deep breath, it creaks. Plenty of flowers to pick around here in these woods. That is a bunch of blueberries. That is not something I needed for the quest. That is a cooking ingredient. Whatever, I'll take it though. Now, I know I'm rambling about this, but I actually did buy a microphone stand back in the day. And I actually returned it because it turns out the microphone that I bought is actually permanently attached to the stand. It's like a malfunction. I got a defective one, apparently. So I can't take it off the stand, meaning I can't mount it on a microphone stand. So I had to return the one that I got because it was useless to me. So I've been using a makeshift thing. I basically have it sitting on top of some foam, which helps reduce the transduction from the wood desk, but it's not perfect. You guys are probably so tired of hearing me ramble about this. You probably just want to hear me talk about Lord of the Rings Online. So I'll get back to it. Let's go turn in this quest, and then we'll be ready to move on to other ones. Yule Festival is probably my favorite of the festivals. It's very nostalgic for me.
Good day.
I have found all the lost boxes of ribbons. Wonderful, wonderful. You even got flowers and berries. I need to dye them. This year's Yule will be the greatest in memory. And these quests, along with pretty much every other festival quest, they are repeatable every few hours. That way you can collect tokens. But anyways, those are the two here in the Shire. Next up, let me head over to Bree, and I'll meet you there for some quests. Alright, so here at the Bree Festival grounds, there are 2 more quests associated with the Yule Festival, so let me pick them up.
Would you do something for me?
The Great Festival of Yule is fast approaching, and I have a concern of dire importance. The chief feature of the annual festival is a great feast where we dine on roast boar and drink the richest of ale. The only problem is that I've lost the boar meat. I had it hanging, drying just a few feet away from here. I had coated it with my special blend of seasonings. This was going to be the Yule feast none would soon forget. I taste tested a little too much of that ale, I think, and took a short nap. When I awoke, the boar meat was gone, and I could see wolf tracks heading west. I think the wolves dragged the meat towards their den. Please bring it back to me if you can salvage it. We cannot have a true Yule fest without it. And then this guy.
Will you give me a moment of your time, friend?
We mark the passing of every winter with a great feast and celebration Yule. In addition to roasting many haunches of boar, the festival features a tasting of some of the finest ales in all of Breeland. Alas, I must revise. Every other year there was a tasting. The cart delivering the casks from the western hills was attacked by brigands just outside of town. The driver made it back here unharmed, but all of the kegs were lost. The brigands have gone too far this time. Too far. Do you think you could go and gather up what's left of those casks for me? He said he was attacked while riding on the greenway around Thornley's work area just after passing a farm. If I'm not mistaken, you will find what I'm looking for in that direction. Alright. And again, there's a few more quests here, but these are associated with the Ale Association and In League, so can't really do those right now. I actually can, but in order to do the whole chain of those quests, it would involve me going to regions of the map I haven't unlocked yet, including Forkill and Evendim. So once I get to those seasons, I'll come back and do the Ale Association and In League quests. So in the meantime, I'm going to go gather some boar meat and try to find some ale. The meat should be at the wolf den, and the ale should be somewhere around some brigands. And I guess I have to kill some wolves for this. Never mind, there are meat on the floor here. I don't know how sanitary this is for the feast, but, you know. I guess we're going to be cooking the meat anyways, so. There's all sorts of nasty parasites that you can get by eating undercooked pork. Especially parasites that dig into your brain and just form cysts in there. Not good stuff. Not fun. And actually, let me go south before I turn in this quest. That way I can deal with the brigands. Get the ale if possible. My main goal, though, is to hopefully hit level 50 with all the Yule quests, so that I can do Hellegrod, man. That would be nice to be able to do it at the end of the Misty Mountains, as opposed to having to come back to it. That way the story ties in nicely. Alright, there's plenty of casks here, it looks like. Actually, that's not what I'm trying to go for. Oh, it's only one cask, okay. So let me go turn these in. Thornley is still hard at work here trying to set up his camp. By the way, something I haven't even talked about is that Lord of the Rings Online is now owned by a independent gaming studio, Standing Stone Games. I guess the developers separated from Turbine and Warner Games. Which, I don't know, it could be a bad thing, it could be a good thing. It's a good thing because they get to keep a much higher percentage of the profits they're making through the game. That way they can, you know, maybe give themselves a nice little bonus and also invest a lot more back into the game, which is very promising. But at the same time, it's also a lot more risk that they have to take. If they had a particularly bad year as far as revenue goes, they had a big game studio, Turbine Games and Warner Games, to kind of back them up and hopefully try to mitigate some of the losses. But now if they have any sort of bad revenue stream, they don't really have that cushion anymore. So it remains to be seen what the change entails for the game.
How can I be of service?
You found it. This is wonderful news. It doesn't appear as if the wolves ate much of it either. They must not like my secret seasoning. I am heartily glad that they have better taste than they. That we have better taste than they.
How
How can I be of service?
Some ale, you have found it. I'm so glad that it was not broken or carried away like the others. This is a great day indeed. You shall be hailed as a hero from this day forth, Kippen. Had the tasting not taken place this year, I imagine I would have been quickly to run out of town. Alright, so next up I'm going to go do some more quests over in Erluin, so I will meet you there momentarily. Alright, so here in Thorin's Hall Inn, there are some more quests. These over here are pretty much associated again with the Inn League and Ale Association and then the horse races, but these two give some Yule Festival quests.
I would be grateful for your assistance.
Good tidings to you, Kippen. It is a glorious Yule this year, but I feel a pang of distress. The dwarves are lucky enough to experience all wonders of winter. Seeing your breath in the morning, the way a nail thaws frozen fingers and toes, and of course the crisp white covering of good snow. I hear that the weather in Bree is unreasonably fair this year, which is a terrible tragedy to the good folk of that land. While I have not the power to change the climate itself, perhaps I can help to bring them some measure of the spirit of the season. Just a bit more snow and my cart will be full enough that some should last the voyage. Could you help me gather snow for my journey, Kippen? Not just any snow will do, it has to be very dry and hard packed. You should find some in piles just west of Friend's Court. Return to me as much as you can carry and hopefully Bree will see some real Yule cheer. Is he really trying to put snow in a wheelbarrow and lug it all the way to Bree? What a fool.
Greetings, traveler. Will you stay a moment?
Good tidings to you, Kippen. The Yule season is my favorite time of the year, even though the frosty air can chill your bones to the very marrow. We dwarves enjoy traditional dessert at the time of the year. It may not make you feel much warmer, but it is a treat among my folk nonetheless. Alas, I have eaten too much that I have already used up my supply of ingredients to make more. I need more shaved ice and berries from a particular bush. If you could gather them for me, I would be in your debt, Kippen. Alright, so where is this actually? Frozen Lake, west of Thorin's Hall. Alright, so it looks like both of these are going to be outside. So we go here, and then Friend's Court. And then let me go gather the ingredients that I need for everything. See, maybe I can come through here. Might be a little bit more practical. Looks like here are the berry bushes. I'm just sitting here. I might play my recorder later on, but for now I'm just sitting. What is that guy doing? Yeah, he's just sitting there. Alright, good for him. And there's an ice shaving from the waterfall here. Right. Excellent. And then let me go gather some snow. Alright, let's see if I can find some more around here. Seems to be pretty scattered. Alright, I need 5 more. Actually, just on the periphery of the quest area. Everything stays nice and frosty here in Erluin. And again, I like to use the delete key. It selects the nearest interactable item. And then if you press U after that, it actually goes and interacts with the selected item. Looks like there's one last snow pile here. I like these lamps. That thing at the top kind of looks like those Himalayan salt crystals that people use as lights. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, or if I just sound like I'm rambling. Now, these guys, you may be wondering why there's these stable guys, and usually when there's a festival going on,
Greetings, traveler.
there are people that can take you to wherever the festival takes place. So for example, the Yule festival in Frost Bluff allows stable masters to appear that transport you to the winter home. And there's also something else going on currently, the treasure hunt,
And your families.
and that kind of pops up kind of spontaneously. It doesn't necessarily correlate with a specific season of the year like the other festivals. And if it's still here by the time I finish doing some of these Yule quests, then I may also do the treasure hunt quests. If not, I'll have to wait until next time it pops up. We'll just see. Alright, I am back, and I do have to be fair to LOTRO. That was totally not their fault. That was my router that crashed, actually, not the game. So my internet went down. Surprising, because I was actually just thinking about it today, how it's been so long since I had any issues with my internet. Anyways, let me turn in these quests.
I am at
This
your
ice
service.
is shaped perfectly, Kippen, and the berries appear to be ripe. This is going to be a wonderful Yule, I can feel it. So these quests aren't giving me any experience, just the tokens, which is a problem since I'm trying to get to 50.
Well met, friend.
This is good snow, Kippen, and just enough to fill the wagon. I will be sure to let the peoples of Bree know that you helped to bring them one of the most essential delights of the Yule season. Alright, and finally there's going to be a couple of quests over in Duilon Festival Grounds, so I'll meet you there. Alright, so lots of quests here. Again, some with the Ale Association, horse races, but these two elves over here will give me Yule Festival quests. I wish you a Yule to remember, Kippen. The festivals to honor the seasons are always my favorite times of the year. Nature goes through such wonderful changes indeed. The beauty can be quite overwhelming. I have a tradition at Yule where I make wreaths from the boughs and evergreen bushes and present them to the others as a way to honor the winter season. I'm nearly halfway done with this year's wreaths, but unfortunately I have run out of branches. If you could head into the hills to the west and retrieve some for me, I can finish making the wreaths. I would be greatly indebted to you.
Maid of Arnon, might you spare a moment?
I
of
have
your
watched the
time?
turning of more Yule seasons than a child such as you could fathom, friend. Every year, we mark its passing by gathering the mistletoe from the young fir trees. Some of it is used in infusions, some for decoration, but mostly we use it to remind us of the fleeting passage of time. I have not yet gone gathering this year, for I fear there may be too much for me to do here. If I cannot see the mistletoe, I will mourn much, when I should be celebrating. Winter is the beginning of the cycle of spring's rebirth, not a death, as many mortals see it. Yule and mistletoe serve to remind us of this. If you could be so kind as to follow the road north towards Thrassy's Lodge, you will find young fir trees just before the bend, adorned with freshly grown mistletoe. Bring me some, and I may rekindle my hope of the season's rebirth. Alright, so let's go do that. Lots of gathering here. It's kind of fun to do the quests in the different regions and the different seasons, because you get to see how the different cultures in Lord of the Rings celebrate the festivities. It's fun to contrast between the dwarves, the elves, the humans, the hobbits. At least I think so. I need to get all the way up there, but this looks like it's a little bit too steep. And I have to go around. Do I really have to go all the way around? It's a little crazy. That's alright, I should be able to climb up here. And last one here, at least for the fir branches. Still plenty of other things to collect. Like the mistletoe. Where is that gonna be? I don't see it on the map. Oh, I see it. It just blends in really well with the colors. I had my map open, so I didn't see where I was running. Lots of cool rewards for the Yule festival, but as always, my favorite thing is the mounts. Some pretty cool mounts this year that I look forward to showing off for you guys in a subsequent episode. Once I finish all the Yule quests, then I'll be sure to go over the rewards. Alright, a couple more here. Man, this brings back memory of me killing the Hendravale for the Hendravale Slayer deed. All the way back in Season 2. It's a long time ago. Alright, let's go turn in these quests. I'm excited because now in the next episode, I'll be able to venture into Frostbluff. Really cool. I really enjoy questing over there. I think you guys are going to have fun in the next few episodes. And it's a nice, lighthearted, fun break before hitting one of the big milestones of the game. That is Angmar. That is going to be a super season. It's a very large map. It's more densely packed than some of the previous regions I've been to. That is to say, it's a little bit more difficult. The monsters are tougher. The landscape is a little bit more treacherous and difficult to traverse. And there's also a lot more quests per square footage, I guess, than some of the other maps. Not to mention the fact that there are a lot of instances there and a few raids. And while those aren't too bad as far as doing them, it does take a long time for me because I always have to find a group and always very slow to record those sorts of things. Anyways, you have my greatest thanks for bringing me this mistletoe, Kippen. One must never forget that life means death, yet death brings new life.
Hail, friend, and well
These branches
met.
will do perfectly, Kippen. I will sing the songs of Yule while I craft the remainder of the wreaths, and I will add your name in thanks. Alright, so those are the Yule Festival quests that can be done outside of Frostbluff, and in the next episode I'm going to head to the Frosty Winter home, and I hope you will join me there. So join the fellowship, hit the subscribe button, see you in the next episode.